In 2025, why did I switch from carrying my SIG P365 every single day to my Glock 19 MOS Gen 5? There's a couple of reasons, and it's not because I think the SIG or this firearm specifically is bad, but there are a couple of things and a couple of reasons personally why I decided to go for something like the Glock 19 that's older, and some might argue a more outdated kind of firearm, compared to something like this where it's a little more modular, a little more modern, and a lot of people do carry these. But before I get into all that, both guns are in fact unloaded, as you can see right here. And with this one, I will say both capacities are similar. This is just the OEM Glock Mag 15 in the mag, and then one in the pipe. And then with this, I did add a aftermarket base plate. So instead of the 12 that you get from the factory, this is 14 plus 1, so it's a difference of the capacity is about the same. Before I get into why I switched to my Glock, I wanted to just mention a couple of things that I do like about the SIG and I do appreciate about it, and why I still decide to have it in my like collection, if you want to call it that, and why honestly I would still carry it from time to time, but this has been my main carry, and I've been really happy with it because it had everything I was really looking for in a concealed carry everyday firearm. But back to the SIG. I do really like the fact that you can mount an optic. I do like this Holosun green dot. It's just the 407K, just the I think it's a 6.0 MOA dot, nothing fancy. And a carry optic. I typically don't like having a bunch of different reticle systems on my carry gun. I just want something really simple, really straightforward. And honestly, if we're being completely honest, in a situation that I would have to actually use this, which hopefully will never happen, I probably won't be aiming down the sights anyway. And if I am, it'll be more point shooting than anything else. But for range time and being able to hit things a little further out, a red dot really does help, as well as being target focused instead of sight focused. Yeah, I love this optic. It's great, it's cheap, and it really does everything it's supposed to do. With the SIG, I do like the fact that you have the option to mount an optic to any of the P365s, because that's the only option. There's not a non-MOS version of the gun. I do really appreciate the trigger. Again, gun is unloaded. I do like this trigger. The take-up is really smooth, and the wall is really defined. And it has a crisp break as well as a crisp reset. And as far as like holding it and the grip angle and everything else, I like both of them. For me, I think I like the Glock a little bit more for grip angle and just being able to line my sights up by the way I shoot. It just works better for me, but that doesn't mean that this gun itself is bad. If anything, I think the stippling is a little bit better than the OEM Glock. And yeah, pretty much the SIG isn't a bad. It also comes with night sights, but it's not a bad gun by any stretch of the imagination. But there were a couple of things that really caused me to put this in the safe and go out and get something like this. The first one being, and this might just be my own personal issue where I live and what I actually, how I carry, but I was having rust issues on the actual iron sights. Not the gun, but the iron sights themselves. Now I've been able to since clean them off, but it was something I would have to consistently maintain. And that's just something with the carry gun. I don't want to have to worry about that every single day. I just want something as simple and as streamlined as it possibly can be, so that I'm not having to like babysit it or feel like I have to really take care of it. That was like one reason. And then the other reason, and honestly the more serious reason, was how small the grip was. I have medium sized hands, and my hand can almost wrap around this entire grip, which when I'm getting a full purchase, everything just feels really crowded, in my opinion, and that just causes the gun to be more snappy and not as fun to shoot with, and more importantly, not as fun to train with, meaning I never really trained with this gun unless I absolutely had to. I would always take something else to the range with me in addition to this, so that I could at least enjoy the range time when I wasn't training and working with this. And that's where Glock 19 comes in. It's a little bit bigger than the P365. This is the XL. The barrel is a little bit longer. It's definitely fatter, but the grip length is about the same. But honestly, the main reason I wanted to get the Glock instead of the SIG is because of how fat this gun is. For me, it just works better with my hands, and I'm able to get a full purchase on the gun. I'm able to get a nice and high grip, which helps with recoil mitigation, and where my hands naturally fall, I typically ride. My left hand rides a little bit higher than some people, so I know some people have their grips down here. I like to have mine interlaced all the way up by the trigger guard and kind of wrap around like that. This is just a stock OEM Glock, and I haven't done anything to it. Literally, I got it out of the box, and I love it. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to upgrade this gun anytime soon. For me, right now, I'm just really enjoying having this just bone stock. Again, completely unloaded, and it just is really, really crisp. And honestly, it's similar to the P365. But yeah, honestly, the biggest reason that I switched and I am wanting to carry this older, some might say more outdated Glock, is purely because it fits my hand better, and when I present the gun, the sights are just naturally aligned. With this one, when I had, even without the red dot, I would always kind of have to fish and find it, and I think it's because of the grip angle difference. This is a 22 degree grip angle, and I believe this one is an 18, and for me the 22 just naturally works better, and I'm able to point with my thumbs, because that's how you aim with Glocks, is with your thumbs, and it's a lot more natural to point shoot with this gun. And honestly, the carry is about the same. I think a lot of times when people are looking for carry guns, they really overanalyze. At the end of the day, I think whatever the biggest gun that you can get and you can carry comfortably and consistently, you should get that gun. Whether if it is that P365 or if it's like a Shield Plus or whatever, you definitely should get that and carry it every day. Or if it's the Glock 19 or something bigger like a Glock 17, or I do from time to time carry a M&P 2.0 full size, whatever gun is the most comfortable to carry, you should carry. I do know a lot of people like to change the triggers for Glocks out, but honestly, the more that I shoot this and the more I dry fire this, I'm finding the trigger is really smoothing out, and I honestly don't mind it. It's nice and smooth. It was kind of gritty when I first got it, and I do know that Glocks can vary depending on like the specific gun that you have, but this one, honestly, it's not anything to complain about. I'm not, I'm perfectly fine carrying it like this in this configuration. The trigger's smoothing out more and more that I shoot it. I have about 300 rounds on this, and then I have a couple of thousand dry firing rounds on it, and I'm finding that it's just smoothing out more and more the more that I actually pull the trigger and cycle the gun. Having a stock gun isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I think a lot of people can get lost in the weeds trying to make theirs as customized as they possibly can, and not saying that that stuff isn't cool, but I think more realistic, and I think more people run stock guns than fully customize them with slide cuts and everything else. And if you do run your gun completely stock, there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, especially if you get a Glock or a 365 where they're known to be super reliable right out of the factory, then I think that's probably, for a carry gun, that's the most important thing, is for them to be reliable, right? And I think getting used to stock guns and then slowly figuring out like what you want to upgrade and change once you're like acclimated and you know the weapon system really well from out of the box, I think then you can start like changing things out. But I think initially, at least for me, enjoying just a gun that's stock and shooting it and getting good shooting it stock is a more important thing in my opinion. Same thing can go for like red dots and iron sights too. I'm purposely not putting in a red dot on this gun right now because I want to get really good and competent with iron sights. And then eventually I'll put a red dot on there. And also, if I'm being completely honest, not completely sure what red dot I want to put on this Glock 19. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know down in the comments. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video going over my new carry gun that I am carrying every single day, and the old carry gun that I will carry sometimes. Both are great guns, and if you're looking for a concealed carry gun, maybe it's your first gun, maybe it's just something you're trying to switch up, and you don't have either one of these, I highly recommend either one, because again, the capacity is the same, and the capabilities are pretty much the same. It's just, it comes down to what's important to you in a carry gun. And for me, the big thing that I have realized is I really want a full-size grip or a nice fat grip. That way I can have good purchase with both hands, so that I can shoot the gun more effectively, quicker. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Doing videos every single week, once a week, on different carry guns, or just anything firearms related. If you want to see anything specific, please let me know down in the comments. And yeah, with that, I will see you guys in the next video.